One Piece is currently in its final saga and, unlike any other saga before it, the world is in an incredibly chaotic state. The current arc, the Egghead Island arc, has been going back and forth between events that are going on Egghead itself as well as the events going on outside of it. In the recent chapters of One Piece, Garp has been seen engaging in a fight against Kuzan, his former student. A clash between these two monstrous fighters is legendary in every way and something that the fans have been waiting in anticipation for every passing week. Garp's invasion of the pirate island. One of the major events that has taken place away from Egghead Island has been the incident involving Captain Kobe. Kobe was initially sent to Amazon Lily to capture Boa Hancock. However, he failed miserably in his quest and was captured by Yonko Blackbeard instead. Kobe, being a member of SWORD, had several friends who wanted to rescue him, and fans got a look at them initially in the Egghead Island arc. However, due to their lack of manpower, it was ill-advised to go and attempt a rescue for Captain Kobe. This changed very quickly when Garp, the legendary hero of the Marines, came into the fold. Garp left Marine headquarters a few days prior to his raid on the pirate island. First, he passed through G-14, a Navy base where SWORD was situated. Picking up a bunch of powerful Marines with him, Garp set out for the pirate island and eventually launched an incredibly powerful attack on them. This mini-war was and continues to be significant in more ways than one. It gave fans a glimpse of Garp's power level and confirmed him to be a user of the color of the Supreme King. At the same time, it also revealed the powerful devil fruit abilities of the Blackbeard pirates to the fans. Most importantly, it built character for several Marines of the next generation, as well as the already existing characters, such as Kobe, Garp, and of course, Garp and Akiji as well. Kuzan stand. Garp's invasion of the pirate island was successful, as he was able to do large-scale damage to the escaping pirates. Kobe was also successfully rescued. However, Garp was met with resistance when Akiji stepped in. Kuzan immediately froze Hibari and told Kobe that he could not escape so easily in the absence of the Admiral Teach. Although Garp offered him to take up his job as a member of the Navy once again, Kuzan refused. Fans also got to see a flashback of Kuzan where it was revealed that he had actually joined the Blackbeard pirates with real intention and not just infiltrated them for the Navy. For whatever reasons, they have goals that seem to align and, as such, Kuzan is completely devoted to Blackbeard at the moment. This became very apparent in the chapter when he mentioned that he is now finally free and willing to do what needed to be done. To Garp, however, this is a sign of weakness as he's shown that he wavers. Kuzan has vowed not to let Kobe escape at any cost, even if it means fighting against his former mentor, Garp. Now, the two are fighting a very heavy action duel on the pirate island, and it could go either way. Garp versus Kuzan result. The fight between Garp and Kuzan is likely going to continue for a while. Both of them are high-level fighters, and neither is going to lose so easily. Fans should expect for a portion of this fight to be skipped over, and the results to be revealed eventually. Looking at it from a strength perspective, Garp appears to be the stronger of the two despite being old right now. This is due to the fact that he has the power of Conqueror's Haki at his aid, while Kuzan does not. At the same time, Kuzan is believed to be a wavering person, and if he wavers, that means his conviction isn't strong, and people without that often tend to fail in the One Piece world. Narratively speaking, however, there are many different directions this battle could take. One such say could be for Garp's decision to mimic what Whitebeard did at Marineford. Garp could possibly open up a way for escape for his students and their fellow SWORD members and stay behind on the pirate island by himself. He could then attempt to fight the remaining members of the Blackbeard pirates. Whether he would successfully be able to fend them off or not remains to be seen. This could very well be something that Garp would think of, given that he wants to save as many lives of his students as possible and, at the same time, bring an old student back on the right path as well. And in other news, One Piece, the destruction of the Heart Pirates explained. The Heart Pirates are one of the worst generation crews that were introduced in One Piece during the Sabaody Archipelago arc. During this arc, Oda introduced several powerful crews at the same time, all of which included the next generation of pirates, and they ended up becoming major players in the battle for the One Piece that was to commence following the Paramount War, where Whitebeard declared the existence of the treasure. Led by none other than the Surgeon of Death, Trafalgar Law, this crew hailed from the North Blue and did quite well for itself in the following period of 2 years. However, in the latest events of One Piece, the Heart Pirates were utterly destroyed. The adventures of the Heart Pirates. The Heart Pirates set out on their journey a very long time ago. After Law escaped from the clutches of Doflamingo, he managed to reach an island called Swallow Island. Here, Law came across a polar bear being bullied by 2 young kids such as himself. This polar bear ended up being none other than Bepo, and those bullying him were actually Satchi and Penguin. Law saved Bepo from them, and even though they tried to fight him, Law was able to beat them pretty easily. This sparked a friendship between Law and Bepo, and piqued interest in Satchi and Penguin as well. Later on, Law also ended up saving Satchi and Penguin from a bear attack, and, together, the 4 ended up joining forces. It was then that the Heart Pirates were created in the North Blue. Eventually, they would go on to make a great name for themselves in the seas. Law himself was feared as the Surgeon of Death, and it was believed that he would do all kinds of cruel and vicious acts, which is what gave him a bounty of 200 million berries before he arrived on Saboti Archipelago. Following the Paramount War, the Heart Pirates became a Shichibukai crew as their captain. Trafalgar Law attained this position for himself following the events of the Rocky Port incident. Eventually, they joined forces with the Straw Hat crew and took down the Empire of Doflamingo, and, later, also changed the tides of the era by taking down 2 of the 4 emperors of the sea in conjunction with the Straw Hat Pirates and the Samurai of Wano, the Heart Pirates after Wano. After the events of Wano, Luffy, Law, and Kid went their separate ways. They all followed the log pose, which was pointing in 3 directions, and picked one direction each. Law ended up going northwest, which took him the farthest out of the 3. Unfortunately for him, he ended up running into one of the 4 emperors of the sea, Blackbeard. Blackbeard was targeting the worst generation members, who fought in Wano for their road poneglyphs. As such, it was a stroke of bad luck for Law, as it was he who ended up crossing Blackbeard's path. While they ensued in a naval battle at first, it soon moved to an island nearby, called Winter Island, where Law unleashed his powers on Blackbeard. The fight seemed to be not all that difficult for Blackbeard and his crew. However, Law managed to hold his own for quite a while, and did some damage to Blackbeard as well. Eventually, however, Law perished, and so did his group. Their flagship, the Polar Tang, ended up sinking to the bottom of the ocean, as did some other members of the crew. Law was about to be killed and his devil fruit was going to be stripped from him. However, that is when Bepo stepped up and consumed a drug that allowed him to turn into a monstrous being capable of causing a distraction and opening up an opportunity for escape. Thanks to that, Law and Bepo were able to escape. However, the Heart Pirates were utterly destroyed. What next for the Heart Pirates? As mentioned by the narrator himself, the Heart Pirates have now been completely destroyed, with several members of the crew sinking to the bottom of the ocean. While Law wanted to save them, Bepo mentioned that none of them would die and that they would manage to survive. This should be confirmation enough for the fans that the Heart Pirates are not completely done for. However, the fact that their pirate ship has been destroyed means that this crew might never reassemble again. For now, Bepo and Law have survived, and they will likely regroup with their remaining crew members at some point later on in the story. However, whether Law will continue to be a pirate now or not remains to be seen. His poneglyphs are gone, meaning he can't get to the One Piece, that is, unless he aids someone else in getting there, such as Luffy. That's a wrap for this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with more amazing videos very soon. ついに全てのロードポネグリフが揃った。行くぞ、野郎。